seals its borders, trapping hundreds of Americans. U.S. troops near the Iraqi and Kuwait borders. The UN says Iraq's annexation of Kuwait is null and void. The U.S. airlift pours men and supplies into Saudi Arabia.
This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rattle reporting tonight from Amman, Jordan. Good evening. The entire Middle East is on edge tonight, waiting for President George Bush and Iraqi President Saddam Hussein to make their next moves.
The United Nations Security Council voted unanimously during the day to declare Iraq's annexation of Kuwait null and void. With Iraqi troops now massed on the border of Saudi Arabia, Arab leaders gathered in Cairo in hopes of settling the crisis with a mini-summit. Their first formal meeting now is scheduled for tomorrow. Top Iraqi officials will be there. More U.S. military forces moved into the Gulf region today. American troops in Saudi Arabia are reported to be 7 miles from the Kuwaiti border. France today pledged more air and naval support. The Soviet Union said it would consider joining a multinational force. China moved a bit more back toward the middle. As Secretary of State Baker was seeking Turkey's support, Iraqi forces were reported building on the Turkish border. Turkish and U.S. officials denied that report. A kind of war nervousness was sweeping through the Middle East. Here in Amman, air raid sirens sounded at midday. Some feared an Israeli attack. A Jordanian official said the alarm was simply a test.
Iraq closed its borders today, trapping hundreds of Americans and thousands of other foreigners. CBS News correspondent Alan Pizzi begins our coverage.
What is going on in Iraq beyond the now sealed border 40 miles across the no-man's land from Jordan is as vague as the images in the desert heat. In an ominous turn, the Iraqi government said today that only diplomats can leave Iraq or Kuwait. Iraq has shut itself off from the outside world, closing its borders and sealing in not only its own people, but also those it now controls in Kuwait. At least 35 Americans picked up in Kuwait are believed to be held as virtual hostages in a Baghdad hotel. U.S. officials and others who went to the border waited in vain for any of the thousands of foreigners, including 500 Americans believed to be still trapped over this border. Reliable sources said no Americans had come out in the last 24 hours. Hundreds of Arabs who had waited up to 3 days to cross streamed out today. Many had come from Kuwait, bringing little with them. It's not settled yet, this man said. There's not much food and security isn't good. Others spoke of sporadic sniping still going on. But the Iraqi government claims Kuwait is now just another part of Iraq. This demonstration in Baghdad was in support of Saddam Hussein's annexing of Kuwait. Well-placed sources claim the seizure of Kuwait's economy has given Saddam Hussein $4 billion in cash and another $10 billion worth of gold. Libya is the only Arab state openly backing Iraq, but it has little to offer that will help meet the economic blockade and military force now confronting Iraq. Arab leaders are pinning their hopes for resolving the crisis on the summit due to begin in Cairo tomorrow. But Iraq is all but snubbing the talks, and Saddam Hussein has shown no sign that he's willing to bend, let alone cave in to pressure. And now he's got foreigners in his capital as a shield. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Amman.
CBS News has been told that the threat of Iraqi chemical warfare has started to send foreign workers fleeing from the Saudi Arabian oil fields. Japan today ordered all its workers